right, good evening, everybody, and happy Saturday night. We are live talking about the weather forecast for tonight and the next couple of days here in San Antonio. Feel free to shoot me a message or comment down below on any questions you have if you're traveling to, let's say, Houston or Dallas or anywhere across the country. Either tomorrow or Monday for the holiday or even next week, we can always dive deep into the forecast and kind of answer your questions from here. But for the next several minutes through, let's say, 8:10, 8:15, we'll be diving into San Antonio's forecast, South Texas, and what to expect. And before we get to that, again, if you have any questions, comment down below. Good evening, Ann, and what's up, David? Why did Dad stop using his loyalty card to scrape ice? He only got 10%. Oh, that's a good one, David. No, David is our resident jokester here, so if you're ever on our Facebook Lives, David's always commenting below with the best jokes. We only got 10% off. It's funny. And rain, is there? There is a chance at rain, but that's not until Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and we'll go into that in just a bit. Before we get to that, let's chat about this right here. Tonight's sunset was at 5:57. By the 1st, in a couple of weeks, on February 1st, it'll be at 6:12, and by March 1st, 6:33 p.m. So days are eventually and gradually getting longer day by day. Now, a lot of people always ask, well, I thought today, and not today, but this time January is the shortest amount of time of daylight we see in a year. If you were to narrow down one month as the shortest month, yeah, January would be the month where we see the least amount of sunlight here in San Antonio and across the South, really, and across the Northern Hemisphere. But the shortest day of the year is actually December 21st. That is the winter solstice, the first day of winter, December 21st, which, again, last month. And every day after the winter solstice, we gradually begin to gain daylight. So, despite it being January, despite it being the coldest time of year, even though it doesn't necessarily feel like it here in San Antonio, this time of year between now and the first day of summer, we gradually, minute by minute, gain more and more daylight, despite it being one of the times of year where we typically see less daylight. But yeah, that is the rule of thumb. All right, so right now it is quiet. You can't see much out there, but it is clear. And a sneak peek at the holiday. If you have plans to attend the Martin Luther King Jr. March, which, by the way, starts at Martin Luther King Jr. Academy, around the downtown area, and ends at Pittman Sullivan Park. It begins at 10 a.m. Monday morning, January 16th. If you're attending that, aside from some morning cloud cover and some patchy fog at the surface, it'll be nice. 64 degrees, winds will be light, around 5 to 10 miles an hour, and then sunrise will be around 7:30 on Monday morning. Meantime, temperature-wise, we're at 55 here in San Antonio. That's down from 62 from about 5:30, so temperatures are falling fast. But if you look very closely, you'll notice the winds on this particular map. South to southeast winds will continue to crank in a little bit more moisture, slightly higher humidity values over the next 24 to 48 to 72 hours, which will create warmer, more mild overnights and warmer afternoons. Now, this morning we bottomed out at 32 degrees here in San Antonio. That was early this morning for the morning low. For tomorrow morning, early Sunday, if you're getting out early, if you're doing any, if you're running any errands, if you're going to church, if you're going running any errands again tomorrow, going to church, anything you're doing tomorrow morning, it should be nice, but it'll be a little warmer than this morning. So this morning we bottomed out at 32. Tomorrow morning we'll be at about 45. Some areas around the metro, maybe lower 40s, 43 to 42. Hill country, upper 30s, lower 40s. It's going to be a cold overnight, don't get me wrong, but it'll be a little warmer than last night, early this morning. And matter of fact, here's a look at some of the metro overnight temperatures into early Sunday. 45 here in the city. That's at the airport. 43 at Lackland, likely around that number in downtown San Antonio. Stinson tomorrow morning at 44. La Vernia at 45, and Bernie around 43 tomorrow morning. So big takeaway, above freezing. And if anyone drops in the 30s, it'll be in the hill country. It'll be around 38 to 39, but that is about it. That is the help and what south winds will do to your atmosphere. It'll keep temperatures warmer and increase the humidity values, which will limit how cold we can get in the overnight. So that's a look at some of your overnight forecast temperatures around the metro and San Antonio tomorrow morning, above freezing, 45 in San Antonio and 43 in Bernie. and likely across the hill country. Again, if you're watching from Kerrville, Fredericksburg, Sonora, Bandera, you'll be in the upper 30s, lower 40s tomorrow morning, but everyone should remain above freezing because of the southeast wind. And what that wind will do is crank up our temperatures near 75 tomorrow for your Sunday. Mostly sunshine, a few clouds. Otherwise, a gorgeous day, really. Winds will be a little breezy, which I need to add that graphic, so bear with me. I think it'll be a little breezy tomorrow. I don't think it'll be windy, but winds will be moving at about 10 to 20 miles an hour with some wind gusts near 25. So tomorrow will be a beautiful day, but on the breezy, warmer side as highs rebound to about 75 tomorrow. Today we hit 66. Tomorrow will be about 10 degrees warmer in both the overnight and in the afternoon. So it'll be I think a nicer day overall, because today was cold, right? It was cold in the morning and chilly in the afternoons, but tomorrow will be significantly warmer on morning low and afternoon high. So before we go forward, let me check the comments and let me do one thing. I need to check out the future wind speeds. Let's see, because it will be a little breezy tomorrow. So that's your timeline for your Sunday. What's the allergy count? Jen asks. Give me 1 second, Jen, and I'll get right to it. Mountain cedar remains heavy, but we'll go into the details in just a bit. So this is our forecast graphic for tomorrow. It gets breezy. Yeah, okay. So tonight, winds are from the south, 10 to 15 miles an hour, not a problem. They relax overnight around the 10 mile per hour range. By tomorrow morning, a little breezy in the hill country and relatively calm in the city. But as south winds begin to really move in and pour in a little bit more humidity, by 2, 3, 4 p.m. tomorrow, winds will be around 20 to 25 miles an hour sustained with wind gusts near 30. So this is important if you are doing anything at the park, if you're setting up any tents for any parties at the park. If you're doing any outdoor activities, it'll be a beautiful day, highs in the 70s, but winds will be a little breezy between lunchtime and about 6 p.m. in the evening, and then they should slowly taper off by late tomorrow night into early Monday, which, by the way, Monday morning should be a little foggy, so prepare for that. Okay, Jen, what is the allergy count? Let's check on the allergy count before we get to the forecast. Here it is, right there. Water, gotta stay hydrated. Okay, molds are light, 370. This is from this morning. And mountain cedar, it remains heavy. We saw a couple days earlier this week, like in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where mountain cedar briefly dropped into the medium category. But the problem is, in January, you get more cold fronts moving through. And what cold fronts do, obviously cool us down, but those northwest winds will transport a lot of the pollen from the juniper trees in the hill country in Kerrville, Fredericksburg, across the hill country. It'll transport a lot of that pollen down southeast towards San Antonio, and that's what mixes up the air, adds in the pollen, and creates things like this. You'll see the mountain cedar heavy. It is heavy, over 3,000. Now, with the winds coming in from the south tomorrow, that'll help a little bit. That'll mitigate the heavy count. But I do think it'll be around 2,000 to 3,000 tomorrow. So if it's causing you to sneeze, my eyes get watery. Oh my gosh, my eyes get so irritated they turn red. I do the terrible thing of scratching my eyes just uncontrollably. And then obviously if I'm walking my dog out in the yard, I just start sneezing, consecutive sneezes, and it doesn't stop. So that's what mountain cedar does to me. And unfortunately, it is mountain cedar season. It doesn't typically wind down until late February, early March. So we still have a month and a half to go for the cedar season. You'll see it is over 3,400 on the count on today, tonight, Saturday night. You get the deal. And yeah, mountain cedar, it is heavy. Okay, so that is the pollen count. Of course, it's a little breezy tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Winds will be around 30 miles an hour at times tomorrow, around 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Keep in mind, if you're doing anything outdoors, if you're planning an event outside, it'll be a little breezy tomorrow, but still nice. Highs in the 70s under mostly sunshine. And you can see high pressure has its grip on us. It is quiet. I mean, Texas needs rain, but unfortunately, no rain is out there. From El Paso to Houston to Louisiana, it is quiet. Let's check out what's happening on the West Coast. They've been getting rounds of rain consecutive for the last 10 days. Los Angeles, San Francisco, just getting slammed by rain, and then even massive snow totals across the Sierra Nevada mountains in eastern California and western Nevada. But still, heavy rainfall for that part of the country. They've been getting battered by just several numerous rounds of rain over the last week. It's been flood provoking, and right now it is raining in Los Angeles, Las Vegas. If I zoom in just for the fun of it, you can even see snowfall moving into the higher terrains of eastern California. San Francisco, a lot of rain, and it's not stopping. And you can actually pick out that spinning area of low pressure right there near Portland. Right here is where that low is, and that's going to move farther east and unfortunately not do anything for us. Back here at home, it is quiet, it is dry. Our dew point is right around 29, which is very dry. I mean, this is a very dry atmosphere. But if you look closely towards the Texas coast, Corpus Christi, Brownsville, Houston, they're starting to see a little green pop up. South-southeast winds off of that ridge of high pressure out near Louisiana is beginning to funnel in a little bit more humidity, which is why I think by tomorrow morning there may be a few areas of patchy fog if you're driving out, but I do think by and large it'll be fine. Sky will be clear, roads will be clear. There will just be a few areas of fog you may drive into tomorrow morning because of the increase in humidity. But it looks like by tomorrow night into early Monday, a higher amount of moisture moves in. So you'll see as highs move towards Florida, they spin clockwise, and what that does is it channels in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. So high pressure moving east increases our humidity between San Antonio, Houston, and the Texas Gulf Coast. So Monday morning, it is going to get humid, and that'll lead to patchy morning fog, but afternoon sunshine and still highs pretty comfortable, but really warm for this time of year. Right around 80 on Monday, 81 on Tuesday, 77 on Wednesday. And then our next system doesn't arrive likely until Wednesday morning, and it'll touch off a very small chance at rain. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a slam dunk. We need rain. We're still in drought. Last year was the second driest year on record, 2022. As we move into the first month of 23, well, we're continuing that trend. It has a lot to do with La Nina. So there's a La Nina pattern across the Pacific. What that typically yields is drier conditions for the south and warmer conditions for the south as well. And you can see that's pretty much the setup we have. Ridge of high pressure in control. As we move this throughout time, through Monday and Tuesday, well, it moves east, but we look upstream towards the west, northwest, and there will be a trough that digs and swings in from the west towards El Paso and North Texas. And what that'll do is kind of increase the instability of things, but it looks like by Monday, more heavy rain for California, Arizona, some snowfall for Las Vegas and Utah. But here in San Antonio, aside from maybe an isolated shower late Tuesday night, maybe an isolated storm Wednesday morning, that is about it. It looks like the heaviest rain will be mostly across northeast Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana. Just San Antonio, you're not in a prime location for heavy rain. And as we move into Wednesday night next week into Thursday morning, our sky is clear, and the severe threat for storms and showers moves towards Mississippi, Alabama, and the southeastern United States, and we are remaining dry, unfortunately. So we could use rain. We're in pretty bad drought. It's been that way since the summertime, since even early last year, and unfortunately things are not going to improve. You'll see the 7-day shows a lot of sunshine, a 20% chance for some morning showers, but otherwise, a little bit of everything, right? A small chance at rain, spring-like weather, highs near 81 Monday and Tuesday, and then more winter, spring-like weather Thursday and Friday as temperatures cool down back into the 40s for Thursday morning and Friday morning, and then highs back near 73 by Thursday and Friday afternoon. Virginia, 2023 has been wild so far. Yeah, I mean, San Antonio, just it depends on how you look at it, but for California, for the western half of the country, yeah, heavy rain, crazy snowfall, but 23 has been interesting start to the year so far, yeah. To say the least, right? To say the least. You're welcome, Jen. Thank you, Ann. We had a good freeze to take care of the cedar. Now, funny you mentioned that because of the freeze back near, it was a few days before Christmas, we saw that freeze move in, which, by the way, I need to count the amount of freezes we've had so far in San Antonio. It still spikes, right? It still can get heavy to very heavy to extreme with the cold fronts transporting a lot of that juniper cedar pollen down to San Antonio. But yeah, that's your 7-day forecast, guys. That'll wrap things up for right now. If you're heading out for the march for Martin Luther King Day on Monday morning at 10 a.m., at the Martin Luther King Jr. Academy and ending off at Pittman Sullivan Park on Monday morning at 10 a.m. The weather should be fine. We'll start off the holiday, MLK Day, with morning clouds and some morning fog, but otherwise skies should clear Monday with highs near 80, so overall it's going to be a beautiful day. And even warmer on Tuesday, and then here comes the cool down Wednesday, Thursday, and for Friday. All right, guys, well, have a wonderful night. Make it a great weekend. Have a wonderful evening. Be safe. If you're heading out in the next hour or two, be safe and drive carefully. Be vigilant out on the roads. It's a weekend night, right? So people are going to be traveling a lot more this evening and tomorrow morning. So be careful, drive slowly, and have a wonderful night. Be safe out there, guys.